Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I am pleased to show you how to do two techniques today on this. So we'll be making this card, and this technique is called sanding embossed images. And you can see that this part is white, and we did that after we embossed it. And then the other technique is de-embossed flowers, and that's what these are. I also wanted to show you the difference. So we are using the twigs and sprigs, I guess it would be, well, they call it just the embossing folder and die. And this is what we call a hybrid die, so you can cut and emboss at the same time. So the first step we're going to do is embossing, and this is how it comes with the embossing folder and the die. So the first part though, I wanted to explain, this is another one that I did. So I experimented and I wanted to see the difference. So this particular card I embossed first, and then I used the blending brush and did ink over the top. This one we did the blending brush first, embossed it, and then sanded. And so that's the difference in look. They're both pretty, but that's how you get the difference. That's the difference here. So we're doing the sanded one, so we are going to color it first and then emboss it. And we will do that now. This is on a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece. We're using our blending brushes, just one. And actually I'm going to take a block, put the ink on the block, and then it seems to give more ink on the paper for some reason. So I'm just taking the ink from here, putting it on, and it can be blotchy, that's okay. Okay, I'm trying to speed this up. Still haven't figured out how to do that fast speed stuff on my videos, otherwise I would do that. And I usually like to go in circular motion when I do my embossing. And the darker you go, the more it will show, but this is about how I would want it. Then you'll wipe off your block. So you have the just the whole, this is on Very Vanilla, just the whole thing blended with Cajun Craze. Now we will put this through the embossing machine, and we're just going to emboss it this time. We're not going to cut it yet. So we're going to put this on here. We have an old blue plate, or the new ones are gray, but they're the same, just so that you're aware. I believe it's plate number 4 or 5. Okay, so the way you need to do this, the Stampin' Up logo will be on the right, and those are the debossed images. These are the raised images on the other side. So on the left side with the Stampin' Up logo on the right, right side up on the left side, fold it, and then you'll put it through the machine. I put it on a little bit of an angle so it doesn't pop on me, and it goes through the machine much smoother. Okay, now at the same time I'm going to do the next step, and I'm using my same embossing folder, taking another sheet of paper, and this is just a 5.5 by 4 1/4 sheet of cardstock, and I'm taking my dies and just placing them in my embossing folder. And again, it's on the Stampin' Up logo side, cut side up. This just slides right into place. It'll, see, now I can't move it. It just slid right into place, and you can see all the images in there. Now I'm going to take my ink pad, let's see if I can do this without moving my machine. I'm going to take my ink pad and put the ink on the other side, not the embossed side, or the cut side, and I'm gently putting ink on the folder. You go directly onto the folder, And then, I better close it so I don't get ink all over. I'm taking the blank piece, the big 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, setting it on the ink side. It doesn't quite fit the whole image, you'd have to cut it bigger, but for class purposes I did it that size. Fold it over onto your die. I flipped it over. Make sure that the folded edge is toward the roller. Again, on an angle. Put your top piece on. Push it through. You can hear it cracking, and basically that's just cutting. Okay. And now we have all of the flowers debossed and colored. So we'll take out the die, and if you get any ink on it, like this has some ink on it, you can just run it through the faucet. And here are all our flowers. And then this part you just run through water and it cleans it all off nicely. So now we have all these flowers that were cut out, and we'll use those to decorate the card. And some are partial because we didn't use a full sheet of paper. But they're debossed, which means this side is bumpy and this side is not, but it's colored. So it's just kind of a fun thing with this embossing folder and dies. And you saw that I cut them out at the same time. So for the rest of the card, I'm just going to walk you through it, not do it actually. Where's my sample? So I put, so basically I'll take it out of the paper. So this is the Very Vanilla 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 folded in half. Then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Cajun Craze. Oh, I forgot to do the technique. So this is the piece. Now we're just going to take a sanding block. This is an old sanding block. It's a real fine grit. It's not real rough. Just, you can get these in the manicure department or whatever they call that. And I'm just sanding it. Almost forgot the whole thing. And you don't have to be gentle on it, but you don't want real rough grit on it. And it just brings out the color. It takes off the ink that's over the embossed part. And so that's how you get the white part. And this one I just put in it's the same thing. So now you'll attach this part to it, and I use the jar of flowers, stamp set, and punch. So I punched that, stamped and punched it out on Calypso Coral, and I stamped it in Cajun Craze. Wrapped some twine around the top, made a bow. The bow just gets stuck on. This is popped on, and then these flowers are just only one of them has pop dots or dimensionals, and then these two are just stuck on, and that's from this bunch of flowers that I stamped or I punched out at once. And then this particular one on the inside, I just stuck that right in here. So you don't even use all the flowers for this, so these will go a long way. So I hope I explained it well enough and you learned how to do the technique. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.